shoot my other video this week in this room. Because it was a role-playing video in a library. I have my poster up from it still. But I had a sore throat earlier this week, so my filming schedule fell a bit behind, and I have to do them one after another, which is okay. Not the worst thing to happen. So the other video was a bit more, complex, and then this video, just eating some candy, chatting with you. I actually have a much better setup in terms of where my camera, computer, and microphone are, and it's just more comfortable in here. But again, sadly, noise matters. I will say. I think that chewing gum is easier to ramble with. Or actually, other hard candies are also easier to ramble with. But I had limited options at the store, and it was root beer barrels or those little red and white circle mints, which are good, but for an entire 20 to 30 minute video, that's a lot of mint flavor, and I just wasn't prepared for it. But the barrels are a bit of an awkward shape to talk with in your mouth. Anyways, you might ask why it was that I didn't simply change my filming location between shooting both videos, which is a valid question. It is easier for me, and while I care greatly about putting out good content that I think you will like, it's a lot of effort to move my whole setup into my bedroom for the filming. Point number 2 though, or B, what did I start with? only the room that we're in is particularly like comfortable or warm. So it is very cold in my bedroom, and with a much larger space to heat up with a space heater. With anything, I guess technically it's just a big room. But this room I am growing these herbs from their seeds, which is a harder process than buying an already planted herb and just growing it. So we'll see how it goes. I planted them yesterday, and I think the first to germinate will be the basil, but I'm not positive. Depends. I'm keeping them in sunny, warm places, keeping them moist. Try not to over or underwater. And then I'll try and take care of the grown plants if I get little seedlings. Hopefully it goes well. I as a kid, really liked the idea of having a garden. So I didn't have space outside of my house, and my mom took me to my grandparents, and they had a lot of land that they grew vegetables and stuff on. So they gave me a very small plot, and I tried to grow carrots for years. One year was pretty successful. I'm out of my root beer. Let's grab another. So, one year was successful. And then we had a lot of rabbit problems. And yeah. So we had a lot of rabbit problems, and I think I generally liked the idea of I liked the idea of gardening more than the process of gardening, because when you garden you have to weed and water and take care of it basically, and I didn't want to do that. I also think it was difficult. I think it was more difficult because it wasn't where I lived. I had to drive to where I gardened, and that made it a whole process. I couldn't just go out and do it quickly. So, other than that, I haven't done gardening before. I had a cactus that I watered. It lived. Yeah. So, I did like the idea, and I still like the idea, but hopefully I'm a little better at taking care of something than I was as a youngin'. So, their seeds are growing. It'll be in so their seeds are growing. We'll see if they turn into anything good. it seems like things are getting a bit warmer. It's March. Finally. So, spring is coming. Even if